Hello, I'm Sarah Simi and this is Pullout. This week we have OK and High magazine. This one is September the 4th, 1976, and it's 10p. Some of the straplines: temper, we tell you how to cope. Can you make it to the top? I'm not sure the top of what, and Freddie Mercury, he's looking great in gorgeous colour. I'm sure he is. It's so sweet. Because half of the magazines were in black and white, I love the fact that they actually pick out when someone's in colour. And also the implication that they're only gorgeous in colour, not in black and white. Inside cover ad this week is Just In, which is the Debenhams ad for jumpers, which has just got the fabbest 70s writing. I noted the jumpers are like $8.99, $7.99, which is just, being as you can buy a top for that in Primark, it's sort of a real sign of the times of how expensive it was then, and I guess how much throwaway fashion we've got now, being as the jumper was $8.99. Anyway, fab 70s typeface. So straight into Hotline, which is the gossip page. Although I would say it's very loosely, not really gossip, and I would say quite a lot of it is made up. But anyway, the first one is Hot Licks, and don't worry, it's not as exciting as that first sounds. You know how tasty it is to lick the bowl after making a cake? Well, recently, a girl in France got a nasty shock when she decided to polish off the remnants of some whipped cream. You see, while she was licking the blades of her electric mixer, she accidentally turned the thing on. She was last seen being rushed to hospital with her tongue still caught in the mixer. Ouch, I bet she won't be doing that again. I think that would be a lot more of a serious accident, actually. And also, who's the girl? I mean, this just made up. Anyway, there's also, which made me laugh, this is an okay start to the day. As I say, it's not really gossip. It's things that someone in the office made up. Did you know that by skipping breakfast, you can end up feeling cranky, inattentive, nervous, and prone to headaches during the morning? Well, none of us here want to feel like that, but nor do we fancy bacon and eggs while we're still half asleep. So we've been taking some lessons from the Good Breakfast book, which has lots of tempting alternatives like a quick blitz, I've no idea what that is, skillet corn cakes, and jelly rolled biscuits. What a way to start the day. What the hell are jelly rolled biscuits? And how is that good for you? Anyway, way before fasting became a thing. Just on the next page, there's, as I mentioned on the cover, there's a thing about temper, we tell you how to cope. And I just turned to it and it really made me laugh. It was just the little headline that they've put in it, which is, it's basically telling you how to not lose your temper, and that if you do lose your temper, it means that you're very immature. But one of the little bits they've pulled out is, he wouldn't take any notice of me, and I got madder and madder until I bashed him over the head with a bag of sweet and sour pork balls. Doesn't say what happened to the sweet and sour pork balls, but anyway. And also, this really made me laugh. It's basically saying, sort of often it's a combination or a number of trivial incidents that makes you mad. Maybe you forgot to set the alarm and overslept for a few minutes. You unsuccessfully rummage through your drawers for a clean t-shirt, miss your bus and arrive late at work. You've got a long, complicated letter to type, and when it's finished, you realise you didn't put the carbon in. Now, that's certainly of its time, having to remember to put carbon in when you're typing something. Also, the basically that the only thing you're going to do is be a secretary and type things. Anyway, so I picked that out. This, I don't often read from the stories, but this one really made me laugh because they have sort of stories in. And this one is about this one. Basically, I've read ahead, and don't worry, I'm not going to read out the whole thing because it's quite dull. But the whole premise of the story is that this girl buys herself this red jumper. That's it. She buys herself a jumper that's got fruit on it. That's it. That really is it. You don't believe me. One of the bits they've picked out is Emma was pleased with her reflection. The jersey made her think of summer and made her feel young. I'm assuming she wasn't old in the first place. Yeah, the stories are great. It starts, Emma stared out of the office window and wondered if many girls had died of boredom at the ripe old age of 17. I'm glad that the jumper made her feel young. What, 10? She had an awful feeling that there may have been quite a few. Certainly this last year with David had been killing her a little more each day. He had become so incredibly boring. All they ever talked about these days was money, mortgages, overdrafts, and marriages. Oh, marriages in the plural to other people. And at 17, is that what you're talking about? Anyway, and even worse, in that order, it got so bad that the high spot of this week was going to the bank to pay most of their wages into the joint account, which he had insisted they open the day they got engaged. Very sensible, said Dad. Not very romantic, thought Emma. So you see, the moment she bought the jersey, she knew that there was going to be trouble. I can't believe this entire story is about buying a jumper. It was a marvellous bright jersey, though, she thought, continuing the argument she had been having with her conscience ever since she had seen it the first day in the shop window. It was right at the centre of the window display, daring her to buy it. So bright, so cheery, it was bright red with shapes all over the place. She didn't even know if she'd have the nerve to wear it, but it made her feel young again. All right with the young again. So she had to have it. It was her money after all, and she hadn't brought anything except sheets and saucepans for weeks. So 10 minutes after she collected her wages, she was the proud owner of a bright red jersey. Oh, God. That's kind of it. I mean, we could go on. But essentially, the whole of the story, and then it's the ramifications and regrets afterwards at buying the red jumper. That's it, really. Yeah, boyfriend gets a bit annoyed. She keeps the jumper. That's the end of it. This made me laugh in the days of oat milk and nut milk. This is an entire promotion telling you to drink milk. And also, I figured it was probably sponsored by some kind of milk marketing board, but it's not. It's called Pick Up a Pinter and stay beautifully on top. It'll keep your skin in tip-top condition and keep your energy running. Oh, sorry, your energy engine running. Drink a pint a day, follow our milky tips. God, you don't want to say that now, eh? And stay fit and healthy the okay way. It's just like, yeah, it's just drink lots of milk. You need the calcium, the protein, vitamin A. There's a couple of recipes of what to do with milk. One of them made me feel quite sick. One is eggnog, which is 1 egg, a pint of milk, juice of 2 oranges, and sugar to taste. Anyone feeling sick? Method: whisk together the egg, milk, and orange juice. Add sugar to taste and pour into glasses. It takes 5 minutes to make and tastes great. Not sure it does. There's also fresh orange junket, which is a pint of pasteurised milk, caster sugar, the grated rind and orange slices, a teaspoon of rennet, and an ounce of grated chocolate. Ooh. Apparently you serve it with slices of fresh orange. It makes a super Saturday treat for you and your friends. Also, at the end of the recipes, they've decided how you could use milk as a beauty treatment as well. Oh dear, oh Lord. So for dry skin, you have to mix honey and milk, obviously, with ground almonds and apply to the skin. If you've got oily skin, you mix milk with baker's yeast. Do the same thing. And as a face lotion, mix half a pint of milk with the juice of 1 lemon and pop it on your face overnight. So that's nice. All of the things you didn't know you could do with that pint of milk in your fridge. We're on to Rick's rock report. Here's Rick. He's got lovely curly hair. Rick does reports on sort of, well, rock really, vaguely singers, and again, this is just lovely. This one is on the buses. Next time you're travelling on the bus or tube, take a good look at the person next to you. It might be Billy Ocean, the fella who's made such a splash in our hit parade. Pop's a risky business, and sometimes you only last a year or two, Billy told me. So this time, I'm not going to waste my money on taxis like I did after my first hit. He had a hit and then just ordered taxis. He was on Uber like a flash. Anyway, I quite enjoy travelling by tube and bus, and I hardly ever get recognised because people think all pop stars have flash cars. If someone looks like they might have recognised me, though, I just look away nonchalantly or move down the platform a bit in case I get mobbed. I really, really don't think that Billy Ocean travelled on a bus in the 1970s, but I could be wrong. Also in here is Oh, What a Night, but it's water. Imagine dancing in a swimming pool. Well, that's what the guests were doing at the party given by Paul McCartney to mark the end of his recent tour in the States. Paul held the party at a huge old Hollywood mansion, Jimmy McGough of Wings told me. There were so many stars there that to make room for them all to dance, we had to drain the swimming pool dry. Everybody was dancing deep inside the pool. Even the big orchestra that played old Beatles tunes was in there. Luckily, though, nobody got so smashed on booze that they dived in from the top board. That would have been very messy. Smashed on booze. A lovely, lovely description. And also, again, that's not true, is it? You don't invite people around and then drain the swimming pool. What the heck? I just wanted to quickly pull out the double-page spread in the middle, which is the wonder of Woolies, and it's just lovely. The fashion is just fab. It's all kind of berets and jumpers with sort of Fair Isle designs, and it's just lovely. It's just really, really 70s. Anyway, just thought I'd pull that out. On to a quiz. Which is called Will You Make It to the Top? Unfortunately, this one isn't filled in, which I do like when someone's filled it in because then we can check what they thought. But unfortunately, this one isn't filled in. Anyway, so will you make it to the top? This is the top of business, of work, by the way. Are you climbing those steps to success or still looking for a ladder? There's a couple of questions that made me laugh so much. Number 2, at an interview, you realise your boss is to be a woman. Do you feel, A, if she can do it, so can you, good prospects? Right answer. B, unhappy, women can be bitchy to work with. C, put off, flirting won't help on late mornings. D, it doesn't make any difference to you at all. It's a tad of a worry that the only way you think you're going to get ahead is by flirting with your male boss. Anyway, that's nice. Number 6. What do you believe is the best time of the day to work? Early morning, preferably before the others arrive. B, mid-morning, as soon as everyone is settled. C, no preference, as long as you get a good lunch break. And D, when the boss has had somewhat of a heavy lunch. Heavy is in inverted commas. I assume that means that your boss has got pissed at lunchtime. So I assume, therefore, you don't have to do any work. I assume that's what that means. At number 10, marriage and kids. We're still told that it's something that lies ahead for all. Do you feel, A, you may fit it in, but it's not a priority? B, it's what you've been building up to anyway? C, it'll be easier and nicer than a job, hasten the day? And D, if you're as good as you think, you'll combine it with your work. Wow, that's... What a thought, you might actually have children and work. That's probably the first time anyone had thought of that. On to the first problem page. There's different problem pages in different magazines. Sometimes they're together, sometimes it's like health problems, and sometimes it's just a general mishmash. But this one is, we understand. Not everyone understands you. What makes you happy, what makes you sad, but we do, and that's what this page is for. The first one, this made me laugh so much. Let's start. This is from Marie in Peterborough. Recently, I've fallen for a pop star. I'm not going to tell you his name. I don't see why not. It's going to make any difference, is it? I'm not going to tell you his name, but it's making me so miserable. You see, I know he's unattainable, and I know he's surrounded by hundreds of girls, all of them crazy about him, and he can have his pick of any of them, but all this doesn't help. What I feel is the real thing, and there's no point in telling me that it's just a crush, because it's not. Maria's very definite about this, but she's still not going to tell you what his name is. So the answer is pop stars, actors, TV stars, football stars, you name it. They've got one thing in common, and that is that they present a good-looking, vibrant, talented personality to the public, which you can really fall for simply because you see the good parts of them. Don't think we don't understand, because we do. What have they got a crush on him? Is that? For a start, stars are actually involved in doing an interesting job. They have charisma and glamour. And any boy who has an ordinary job with no glamour attached, no matter how good looking, he's going to look a bit pale compared to someone who you see on TV, in the papers, or on stage. Oh dear. The unfortunate truth is that very few of us will ever get to meet a star, let alone get to know one. And so we have to make do. We have to make do with ordinary, mundane, everyday boys. Oh God, don't you want an ordinary and mundane boy? If you look around you, you'll find some boys who are not stars, but they are very nice boys. And a lot more accessible than the stars. We don't for a minute doubt that your feelings for the star that you have on this crush are genuine. And we're sorry to have to say it, but it is a crush when you love someone who doesn't know you exist. Genuine feelings of this sort are, and hurt though it may have to say this, something that you may have to come to terms with and learn to cope with as part of the maturing process. This process can go on for quite a long time. It isn't something you experience at 14 and are over by 16. People who are quite a lot older experience the frustrating experience of really falling for someone who either doesn't know they exist or who doesn't return their feelings. Oh, none of this, of course, is going to help you stop feeling the way you do. Only time can help you do that. And meeting a really super guy, or perhaps one of those really ordinary, mundane ones. But it might help you if you can understand that even though your feelings are real to you, the only true sort of being in love is when someone loves you back. Oh dear, Marie. I'm desperate to know who the crush is now, because she's made such a point of telling us that she's not going to tell us. Anyway, and the next one is, what can I do? I don't actually really understand this problem, so here we go. I'm very worried about my teeth. When I open my mouth to talk to anyone, I know they can't see them. What are they, invisible? I don't know. Why can't anyone see them? One day, a boy even asked if I had teeth. I don't understand. Where are teeth? Anyway, this is the answer. To be honest, we think that having the small teeth is a lot better than having overlarge, crooked, or almost any other sort of teeth problems. But is she saying that they're small teeth? I don't know if she is. She's saying people can't see them. Still, any problem with your appearance that really upsets you is worth being checked out, and we suggest that you see your dentist. If he agrees with you and suggests that you have your teeth capped or something, it might be worth bearing the possibility in mind, even though it may cost quite a lot of money. Way before turkey teeth. The next thing to do would be to learn to live with your teeth. But if you can't, expert dental advice and treatment may be worth saving up for. But I don't think that's a problem. I think a problem is that people can't see them. I don't know if that necessarily means that they're small, does it? Anyway, the next one is he knows so many girls. I like a man called Geoff. She's not afraid to say who it is she? I like a man called Geoff very much indeed, and we're quite friendly. But the trouble is, he talks to so many other girls too. Also, he is a few years older than me. Perhaps I ought to stop going where I know I'll see him, but I really do fancy him. What do you think would be best? Mrs. Katie in Cardiff. We think that age differences vary between individuals. Some people are mature, responsible people who get on well with much older people. Is this really what she's saying? Anyway, who get on well with much older people at 16. Others behave like children when they are much older. And of course, in between, there are the people who don't really fit into any category. None of that made sense. What on earth's that got to do with the question? Anyway, maybe you and this man are well suited and maybe not. But the only way to find out is by getting to know him. Well, go figure. But we wouldn't advise you to hang around him when you know he's going to be out, because the best way to attract someone's attention is by preserving a bit of mystique. Try not to be there so often. It could be that you're making things too easy for him. The last one on this page. I'm really worried. Oh, and this is poor old Susan in Preston. When I was away on holiday, I went out with this terrific guy. When it was time to leave, he said he loved me and would keep in touch. But I haven't heard from him, and I'm awfully worried. Oh, Susan, you're never going to hear from him. I don't suppose you will now, because this was 1976. We have a creeping suspicion. This is the answer. We have a creeping suspicion that this was just a holiday romance. I think we all know that. And that if it isn't possible to keep things going when the distance involved is so great, we suggest you stop pining and try to forget him. Just remember the pleasant memories you have of him. After all, he isn't the only boy around. There are sure to be plenty of nicer boys closer to hand. Yes, those really dull, mundane ones. They're much closer to hand. Just before we leave the problem page, there's an advert which really made me laugh. It's called. The headline says, "Girls, you can earn £100 a week, way, plus an exciting life and a secure future. How? I bet you're desperate to know, aren't you? I was. Get into the fabulous computer industry now." Very early computer industry. On the ground floor, while industry, commerce, science, and governments are desperately seeking trained personnel. Give us only 4 to 6 weeks, and we can train you in any one of the 3 vital careers in computers. Programming, it can pay around £40 a week as a starter and can reach over £100 a week. Operating, it can pay around £35 per week as a starter and can reach over £90 a week. Or key punching. I wonder if any of you remember key punching. It can pay around £28 per week as a starter and can reach over £50 a week. So, yeah, excellent. And then you can clip out a little form at the bottom. and fill in your details and send it to the London Computer Training Services, which is which is in Oxford Street, W1. I love it when that's all the postcode you needed. W1. We're on to Super Guys now, a particular favourite of mine, where Sally just picks out men that she fancies. The premise is quite shallow. It's join Sal here every week and meet her favourite Super Guys. Sally's got a lovely hairdo, by the way, just in case you want to see Sally's hairdo. It's quite the 70s style. Anyway, this one, oh dear, this one made me laugh. This is about Cliff Richard. I promise I'll try not to laugh during this at the wrong places. Cliff's marriage lines. Oh, you didn't meet Cliff, they all said around here when I came back from chatting to him the other day. I kept cool, and while they were all swooning, I didn't let on that I've been secretly mad about Cliff for years. And he really was quite lovely in real life. Really slim and suntanned after his holiday. And of course, he was dressed immaculately, as usual, in a lovely denim suit. Love a denim suit. Cliff's one of those people that makes you feel at home in no time at all. And being rather nosy, I'm sorry, I can't read this out with a straight face. I couldn't help asking why a lovely fella like Cliff wasn't married. The right girl just hasn't come along yet, Cliff confided. I was nearly married once, you know, but that was a long time ago. And now that girl is married to Adam Faith. I don't know how that's relevant. But that doesn't mean to say I've stopped looking, he added. Do I hear any offers? Oh, Cliff. I'm not going to say anything. And the next one is Chris. It's called Chris and Those Cars. Everyone keeps telling me how much I like Mick Robertson from Magpie. Oh, remember Magpie? And I look. Chris Redburn from Kenny told me. I don't know who Chris Redburn is or Kenny. Just to be clear. His face breaking into a cheeky grin. Must be the hair, Chris went on, shaking his locks. Because we've both got plenty of curls. He has, by the way, just so that you know, he has got a lot of curls. Funny, isn't it? When you've got curly hair, you wish it was straight, and yet loads of people with straight hair say they wish theirs was as curly as mine, especially girls. I sympathise with it. I've always had straight hair till I had a perm. Oh, till it went all of a frizz a year ago. Now I can't wait for it to be straight again. God, this is a dull interview. Curly hair, straight hair. Actually, I was quite surprised to get Chris talking about something other than his favourite passion, cars. But it didn't take him long to manoeuvre the conversation in that direction. I've got a white Capri at the moment. Oh, God, love a white Capri. And sometimes I almost forget that I'm on the road and not the racing track when I'm driving along it. Bet that's left a few girls shaking, I butted in. Oh no, Chris answered coolly. I'm always too busy chatting them up to drive too fast. Lucky girls. Oh, what a non-interview that was. I just wanted to pick out a couple of ads. One ad actually. This is an ad for Lil-lets, for Lil-lets tampons, which is all fine and dandy. Except there's just what I don't understand is that there's a girl at her dressing table looking into the mirror, which again is all fine. She seems to have a sort of postcard on her mirror as well, which is what I say. But she's completely starkers. It's like, this isn't explained why the girl is naked. Why? What's that got to do with anything? Anyway, it's got nothing to do with the ad whatsoever. Anyway, well, you can write in for you can. Oh, it's so sweet when adverts had little things that you could clip out and send back in. Anyway, you could send for your free sample pack of Lil-lets, which is nice. But anyway, and on the next page is a page of fashion, which is just all woolies. It's knits and pieces with a splash of colour and style from your top to your toes, which is basically scarves and gloves and socks, which are all really nice. Again, they're quite expensive reasonably. Like, I mean, a Sasha bright green felt flat, slip-ons, which is sort of a very simple kind of shoe. They're $7.99. Mary Quant, red, yellow, and green leg warmers. Oh man, $1.75 from all branches of John Lewis and Army Navy stores. But yeah, also a really fab illustration. Again, no photographs. So interesting that fashion was just, so rarely actually photographs. This page it's all yours, where you can write in, you can have your say, you can do a swap with someone. So yeah, bit of a mixed bag, I think is is what we're saying. This one made me laugh because it's so sweet. We are compiling a book to present. Oh, sorry, it's headlined "All David Cassidy Fans." We are compiling a book to present to David, and would like any messages, poems, drawings, etc. that you have to offer. Send to Mary and Teresa, 1379 London Road, Parkhead, Glasgow, G31 4PE. Scotland. If you wish a reply, please enclose a stamped addressed envelope. It's like no one thought anything of having their actual home address published in a magazine. Just so that they could have David Cassidy things sent to them. And then, what, you're really going to give it to David Cassidy? Doubt it. This one also, again, the sort of, this is, got something you want to ask us? So, I read your magazine regularly and wonder if you could help me by finding out Michael Jackson's address. And if I could write to him, I'd be really happy if you could. Oh, it's so sweet, the utter naivety that you think you could write to a magazine and get Michael Jackson's address. Yeah, sure. Give it out. Well, Audrey, this is Audrey Salmon has asked this question. Well, Audrey, we sure can help you. We've been everywhere trying to find out for you, and eventually we discovered that if you write to CBS Records, care of the Press Office, 17 to 19 Soho Square, London, W1, they will forward your letter to the States and it will be passed on to Michael. Hope that's okay, Audrey. Do we really think Audrey's letter was passed on? I'm going to say no. There's also a lovely section called You Said It. Oh, these are a laugh. Basically, it's people being really, really annoyed about someone's letter from a previous magazine. So often we don't have the reference of the earlier letter. So we don't really know why they're so angry. But anyway, this is from Sue, Julie and Pat in Windsor. In reply to Karen Purdy's extremely annoying and totally untrue letter, okay, June 26th, boys do, in fact, cry over girls. We have often seen boys cry when they have been chucked by girls. After all, males are only human and have feelings just the same as we girls have. It's just that some of them don't like to be caught crying, as they think it makes them look like a softie, a fool. Either Karen Purdy has been too blind to notice, or else boys find that girls who make heartless remarks like her are not worth crying over. Man, Sue, Julie and Pete and Sue, Julie and Pat are extremely angry about Karen Purdy's letter. The next one. I really feel I must protest about Lindsay Mather's letter, July 3rd. So she thinks that pop music is only there to satisfy the younger members of our society, and that rock ought to be the next musical stage to turn to when they reach a mature age. I wonder what a mature age is. 18? Who does she think she is? It's a personal choice whether one changes one's musical taste, not someone like Lindsay's, who seems to think she knows what people should listen to and enjoy. I happen to be, oh God, this has taken a turn. I happen to be a great G band fan. That's Glitter Band, Gary Glitter. Yeah. I happen to be a great G band fan, and even though I don't like David Essex and the BCR, Bay City Rollers acronym, at the best of times, they aren't undeserving. Well, I think we'll draw a veil over that. You've got to take into account that the music business is very, very tough, and anyone who makes it deserves all the recognition that they can get. Now, that's Rhonda in Camden Town in London. Dear. And lastly, from Fiona Peters, who is a 10cc fanatic. I just had to write in and say how fed up I am. God, this is a moan fest, isn't it? How fed up I am with reading letters from girls who say that it is only silly and immature to scream and get hysterical when seeing your favourite pop star or group performing live. This bit made me laugh so much. My uncle, in brackets, who is a psychiatrist, says that it is perfectly natural and quite healthy to let out our bottled up feelings and emotions. He said that fully matured women have been known, well, can I tell you? He said that fully matured women have been known to get into an uncontrollable state of hysteria when seeing their idols. Fully mature women. I hope now that these girls who think themselves grown up will stop shouting their mouths off about a subject of which they obviously know nothing about and just listen to someone else's opinion. Oh, Fiona, go and chill. I'm on the last problem page. I don't know why they separate the problem anyway, but this is the okay, it's a fact of life problems. I fear that I may have actually written in this letter, although I don't remember, but hey. I have lots of freckles on my face and arms, but as I hate freckles, I wear long sleeve clothes. I don't get many boyfriends as I don't think they find freckles attractive. Oh, I would really love to get rid of them, or at least to fade them, as then I'd be able to wear more sexy clothes. Please tell me how to get rid of them. Don't get rid of your freckles. It doesn't say who wrote this in. Sarah from no, it doesn't. The answer is it's Pat. It's Pat Grant answering the problems today. Believe me, some of the most beautiful girls in the world have freckles. Oh, Pat, I love you forever. And not just a delicate dusting across their noses either. And equally, lots of men find girls with freckles attractive. It all depends on the girls beneath them. Well, however, cosmetic skin bleaches do exist, and can be bought from chemists. And some beauty salons carry out a peeling process which may remove them for a time. No. If you are really determined to get rid of your freckles, it might be worth making inquiries at your local beauty salon, but you should check with your doctor first. However, my advice is to come to terms with your freckles. Thank goodness. They can be attractive, and so can you if you just stop thinking that you're not. I like Pat's. I'm beginning to really take to Pat's no-nonsense advice, except those freckles. This one. I am a boy, I'm 15, and I'm friendly with a gang of people, both boys and girls. Many of the boys have girlfriends, but I find myself attracted to the boys and to older men. I think I am a homosexual. I think you are too. Will I always be like this, or will I grow out of it? Oh no, we don't want to hear that. Right. Pat, please, come on, Pat, let's have a good answer for us. A lot depends on whether you are truly homosexual or whether you're simply going through a phase where you feel admiration and maybe emotional attachment to members of your own sex. As I'm sure you know, lots of boys and girls go through phases like this, and it doesn't necessarily mean that you are homosexual. Homosexuality implies that not only do you like the company of your own sex, but you are sexually attracted to them alone and are really only capable of forming emotional, permanent relationships with them. However, there is a lot of generalisation, and I think that if you are truly worried, you should contact CHE, which is the Campaign for Homosexual Equality, 22 Great Windmill Street, London, W1. They will be able to help you far more than I can. Oh, Pat's like, I'm over it. Sort it out yourself. I'm moving on. This one. Oh dear. This one is it wrong for a girl not to have an orgasm while having sexual intercourse? My boyfriend says that it is, but I disagree. Right, come on, Pat. There is no right and wrong about sex, except, of course, the moral rights and wrongs, such as using a reliable contraceptive and generally being responsible and mature about your sexual relationship. That's not what she's asked. Why is she going on about this? Pat, you've gone off topic. Otherwise, the only thing that is right about sex between two people is what makes them happy. Lots of girls find that they don't have orgasms at first, but as they settle into a mature sexual relationship, they do experience climaxes. Some girls never have orgasms, only a general feeling of pleasure from such a close, intimate relationship. But there is certainly nothing abnormal about not having an orgasm. I like the general feeling of pleasure that one might get from, I don't know, wine, I don't know, watching Coronation Street. I like it, just a general feeling of pleasure, not too much pleasure. And lastly on this page, this is just like really weird. And also, this is on a problem page which is about facts of life, as you may well have noticed from what I've just read out. But this one really isn't. It's extremely random. So I thought I'd read it out. You may think this is stupid, but just recently I started wearing plimsoles and casual shoes. And gradually stopped wearing shoes at all. By the way, I just interject here in case you don't know what plimsoles are. They were the trainers of the day. Now I have to wear plimsolles all the time because I can't get used to shoes again. By the way, I hadn't realised that plimsolles were obviously a brand name. I'm obviously very stupid, but they've capitalised plimsolles throughout, which is quite interesting. But anyway, Mother. This is very formal. Mother bought me a pair of shoes about 6 months ago, but the heels were too high for me to wear them. I'd like to get some with low heels, but my mum won't buy me any, as she feels she wasted £7 on the pair I haven't worn. Well, she did, to be fair. Pat's answer is... I'd forgotten that it was... that if you wore sort of like a plimsoll or a trainer, that somehow it was a bit slovenly and that you really should be wearing proper hard leather shoes. And that anything else, was considered quite slovenly. So it's almost like an admission of some terrible thing to wear comfortable shoes. Anyway, Pat says, soft shoes like plimsolles do have this effect on the feet. I told you, they allow them to spread, and hard leather shoes, especially those with high heels, are always more difficult to wear after you've worn plimsolles constantly for a number of months. It's the same if you go barefoot. Unfortunately, to choose a pair of shoes with a high heel was probably a mistake, because that sort of shoe not only constricts your foot across the width, but forces all the weight down into your toes. But I do see your mum's point. £7 was a lot of money to spend on shoes that you can't wear. Maybe it would be a good idea to save up and buy a pair of shoes with low heels yourself and see how you like them. I can't believe that was a problem. I don't want to wear really uncomfortable hard leather shoes. Please let me stop. No. Screw you. So I'm just finishing on the back ad, which is a nice colour ad on back. Wishing won't help you get rid of your spots, but Swiss biofacial will. And there's a girl holding up a wishbone, obviously wishing. Not to put too fine a point on it. There's a right way to treat your spots, and there's a wrong way. The wrong way, and we all know what that is. Oh, what? I don't know what that is. Results in more spots, more misery. I don't know what the wrong way is. Anyway, the right way, obviously, means clearer skin and a happier you, and the right way is Swiss biofacial. So good. You can choose between a cleansing lotion and some other kind of face wash. I'm not entirely sure. Anyway. I still want to know what the wrong way is. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. That was OK and High Magazine from September the 4th, 1976. See you soon.